are you all? I hope you all are doing well and being in health. So let me introduce myself. I am Taslim Sultana, working as TTT in English in Mahbubnagar. So children, during this pandemic, you might have feeling very bored, isn't it children? Obviously, the homeschools will be very difficult to us because there is no meet with the friends, nothing, no fun, no school. It means it's just a boring schooling, we can call it. But during this pandemic also children, you might have learned few things because you got the wonderful opportunities to spend the time with your parents as well as to learn along with your siblings, isn't it children? You might have explored many things at home. You might have known the strengths and weaknesses of your siblings as well as your parents. But first of all, I would like to thank to Mr. Secretary Sir, that is Dr. R.S. Praveen Kumar Sir, and also to all these GnaanaDeeksha team members for telecasting such a wonderful programs so that our children won't miss out even the academics during this unprecedented times. This time is very peculiar children, but we need to follow the instructions which have been given by the government, isn't it children? Right. On this note, I would like to ask you all that rather you are an active listener or a passive listener. If you are an active listener, then it's good. But if you are a passive listener, I want you to become an active listener. For the active listeners, I have got something special for you. What's that? Let me show you. Just have a look on the slide, children. Yes, it is a tongue twister. What is a tongue twister? I think you might have known about the tongue twisters. Just have a look on the tongue twister, children. Bitty bought a bit of butter. Just repeat after me, okay? Bitty bought a bit of butter, but the butter was so bitter. So she bought better butter to make bitter butter better. Right? So this was the tongue twister. Tongue twisters, it should be said as fast as you can. You can't be slow, because these tongue twisters will help you out to improve your pronunciation as well as it can make you to communicate in English very effectively. So children, if you want to be excellent in your communication skills, practice this tongue twisters. Okay children? So let me practice this tongue twister. It's my turn to say, okay? I'm going to say it as fast as I can. So, Bitty bought a bit of butter, but the butter was so bitter, so she bought the better butter to make the bitter butter better. Good, Taslim. Well done. You have done a wonderful job. Self-appreciation is also very important. I should self-motivation, self-appreciation, self-confidence is much important for all of us. So children, it is my humble suggestion to all of you to practice these tongue twisters at home whenever you feel free, right? So children, do you watch the public speaking personalities? Do you watch the actors, eloquent speakers? How do they speak? How do they speak, children? Did you notice the language? Yes, they speak very fluently. They are excellent in communication skills because they practice these tongue twisters, children. Yes, usually they practice these tongue twisters. So, it's my humble suggestion to all of you to practice the tongue twisters. So, passive listeners, are you all active listeners now? I hope you all are the active listeners. Very good. Now, let me introduce my topic. Okay? I have brought something for you. Just have a look on it and answer my questions. They are not very typical questions, but they are very simple. Damn easy it is. So, you can practice them. Yes. Dun, dun, dun. Wow! Very charming, beautiful, pretty, excellent. So, as many as adjectives if you want to give, you can give. What is this, children? A doll. Very nice. Say hi to all the GnaanaDeeksha viewers, my dear Sheena. Let me introduce her. She have come along all the way for me in the studio. Okay, her name is Sheena. Say hi all to GnaanaDeeksha viewers, Sheena. Hi. So, let me ask the questions now. Yeah. I introduced her. I told you to active listener, right? Just now I have introduced her. What is her name? What is her name? Very good. Her name is Sheena. Right. Her name is Sheena. What do you call this usually, children? What do we call? We call it as a, what is this? This is a doll. Excellent, children. Once again, very good. I really appreciate to my all the tribal welfare, social welfare, all the students. So, this is a doll. Okay, very good. Then, she wore which gown? A white colored gown, right? And how does she look like? What does she look like, children? Is she looking like a? Yes? She looks like a? I can't hear. Princess. Very good. She looks like a princess. We all are Papa's princess, isn't it? Yeah. Thank you, Sheena. So, she looks like a princess. So, what I want to convey to you all, children, I have circled something here, right? What are they called as? They are called as, what is I have circled here? I have circled something. What are they called as? Good. They are called as words. They are called as words. Okay? And all the words are there here and they are giving you some meaning to it. Right? It's giving you the meaning. Her name is Sheena. That means you're getting some information. Right? So, I'm going to deal with what? It is a group of words which giving you the meaning or makes complete sense. You got some meaning out of these sentences, right? So, I am going to deal with the kinds of sentences. Very good, children. So, my topic for today is kinds of sentences, right? Thanks for answering my questions, my dear children. So, children, usually I begin my class by introducing a vocabulary to my children because I want my children to be good in communication skills and they have to use this vocabulary in every walk of life. So, for that purpose, there is some twist, children. Usually, my children, they are going to say the vocabulary every day. Okay, so here there is a slight twist. What is that? Is I am not going you to say the word. You have to identify that word. Okay, just guess it. Let me see. How many of you are going to identify it? What is this, children? This is a glass, right? This is the water, obviously. So, I am filling this glass with water. Okay. So, here what I want to say. Just have a look, children. This is a glass of water. If I ask children, few people, what do they say? You may have the different opinion on this glass of water. Few may say that is half filled. Few may say that it is half empty, isn't it? And few may say it is just a glass with water, isn't it? So, it is up to us how we take the things, children, right? So, the people, those who are saying that it is a half full water, half full glass of water, then they may have the positive thinking. And whoever thinks that it is half empty, they may have the negative thinking. I am not saying just on the first experience, If you are saying it is an half fail, it is the people, they have the negative thinking, but it is up to us children how we take the things, right? So always be positive in your thinking. If you get any kind of obstacles, any kind of the predicaments or adversities in your life, you have to face it. Yes, you have to face it. Get up, isn't it? You have to face all kinds of adversities, whatever you face. Life is most challenging, children, right? So you should be audacious, bold, brave enough to face any kinds of situations. Okay, children? So why am I saying this word? Why am I telling you that you have to be positive always? Because I find many people every day, if I read the newspaper, what I'm observing is many of them, even the youngsters, even adults, they are committing suicide. But suicide is not the way, children. You should keep your blinkers on so that you can face any kind of the adversities in your life. Don't be a farrago, a confused mixture. You should be straightforward, you should be self-confident so that you can be bold, right? Yes. Now let us move on with the explanation of our topic. Okay. So usually we have 4 kinds of sentences. Okay, what are they, children? The first is assertive, or it can also be called as declarative sentence. The next is interrogative sentence. The third is imperative sentence. And the last is exclamatory sentence. Okay, so these are all the 4 kinds of sentences. So here, let's have a look on the slide, children. So before that, I want to tell you my objectives. That I am going to state the 4 kinds of the sentences, namely the declarative, interrogative, imperative and exclamatory sentences. Identify the 4 kinds of sentences, use the 4 kinds in a complete sentence, and appreciate the kinds of sentences in everyday communication. So these are all the objectives what I am going to achieve in this session. Now let's have a look on the kinds of sentences. Okay. A sentence is a group of words which makes complete sense. For example, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. And we have totally sentences of 4 kinds. They are assertive or declarative sentence, interrogative sentence, imperative sentence and an exclamatory sentence. So let's have a look on an assertive sentence. So what do you mean by assertive sentence? An assertive sentence makes a statement or gives information. It ends with a full stop. For example, Gandhiji is the father of our nation. Okay. Then the other example is Bergdorf is the famous restaurant in Chicago. Okay. As you all know, Gandhiji he was a great freedom fighter and he fought for our independence a lot. He is considered as the father of our nation, and Gandhiji is the father of our nation. And the next is Bergdorf is the famous restaurant in Chicago. Bergdorf, it is one of the famous restaurant. Alinea is also one of the famous restaurant in Chicago. Just look at the pronunciation of the restaurant, children. I am saying it as restaurant. It's not restaurant. It's restaurant. Okay. So restaurant in Chicago. So an assertive sentence is nothing but which makes a statement. Which makes a statement or gives information. Okay. So examples I have told you. Honesty is the best policy. Again, necessity is the mother of invention. The studio is located at Jubilee Hills. These are all the examples of assertive sentence as you are getting the information, right? So we call it as an assertive sentence. Okay. Now next move on to the interrogative sentence. What do you mean by interrogative sentence? Interrogative sentences are nothing but they ask a question, right? And it always ends with a question mark. For example, what is your name? Have you read the newspaper? So here, children, these interrogative sentences, they will ask the questions with the WH family. You know what are the WH family questions? What are WH family questions, children? WH family. Yes, recall. Brainstorming is important. What, when, where, which, and the last is who. Okay. What, when, where, which, who. They are all considered to be the WH family questions. Okay. Then, and it also starts with how. How also. So, what are you doing? When will the COVID-19 pandemic will end? Where is your watch? Then, who are you? Right? These are all the examples. How are you? And yes or no questions are also there, children. Yes or no questions, like just now I have given you one example in the slide, that is, have you read the newspaper? It can be simple yes or no. Okay. So that is your answer. So this was about the interrogative sentence. Next, and one more thing I would like to say is, I found many children pronouncing this. How do you pronounce this word, children? How do you pronounce this? What? Just watch my lips. What I'm doing? What? Don't say what. What is your name? No, this is not the correct pronunciation. You have to circle your lips. What? Okay. Yes, good. Next, let's move on to the next sentence, that is imperative sentence. So imperative sentences expresses a command or request. It mostly ends with a full stop and sometimes an exclamation mark. Okay. For example, what are the two magical words, children, so that you can convince anybody? Suppose if you want to get a pen with your friend, then what would you say? Which word do you add? You will say please, right? Please give me your pen. Your friend will agree with that. Okay, take this pen. He will give you wholeheartedly that also. He'll feel very happy. Oh my God, she's convincing me. She's saying please, isn't it? So please help me. Then commands, do as I say. This is a command. Watch at the picture. Father is telling to his son, do as I say. Right? This is a command, order. You have to obey your parents. Okay? Then get out, shut the door, come here. These are all the examples of imperative sentences. Okay? Now let's move on to the last kind of sentence, that is exclamatory sentence. Right? So here, exclamatory sentences expresses a sudden feelings of surprise or sorrow. It usually ends with an exclamation mark. Okay. Just look at the slide, children. You have, wow, it's raining. Yippee, we won the match. So they are all happy, isn't it? So you will be happy and will hire your pitch. Wow, it's raining. Yippee, we won the match. Do you say that? Yes. I'm giving you one more expression. Okay. What's that is? Just read out. Once read out, children. What did I write here? What did I write here? Just express it. Read out. Alas, he is dead. Wow, it's raining. Yippee, he won the match. Same expression I should use for this also. Alas, he is dead. My higher pitch is showing that I'm happy that he is dead. but it is an expression of sorrow. You should not be happy. Lower your pitch. Alas, he's dead. That's all. You're sad, right? So show that sadness through your pitch. Don't be in higher pitch always. Lower your pitch whenever you feel sad. You can't say, alas, he's dead. No, alas, he's dead. Right? So follow it. So this was the example. Then, as I told you before, that this was all about the kinds of sentences, and I have given you, remember this? What is this? I told you to guess the word. What is the word? Which word was it? Yes? Anyone? Teachers, students, anyone? You can guess it. I think most of you have guessed it. I have given you so much of time to guess the word. Isn't it? So my word was? Yes? Very good. Very good, children. Good children you all are. It's an optimist. Very good. It is an optimist. Who is an optimist? Optimist is nothing but one who looks at the brighter side of the world. And believe in hopeful for future. So I thought, let me give these children time so that they can guess the word. That's why I've explained the kinds of sentences first. So optimist, my word was optimist. One who looks at the brighter side of the world, or who always have a positive thinking, right? So one who looks at the brighter side of the world means it doesn't mean that you have to take the torch and look for the brighter side. No, just okay. So you have to be always positive, have a positive thinking, not the negative thinking. Okay, children. And I have just have a look on the slide, children. A person who is hopeful about the future. For example, you have, as an optimist, I believe that tomorrow will be better than today, isn't it? Then the next example, an optimist sees an opportunity in every calamity, and a pessimist sees a calamity in every opportunity, right? So this is a very good quote, children. An optimist, he always watch for the optimist in a calamity, and a pessimist. Who is a pessimist now again? Pessimist is an antonym of optimist. So pessimist will always see the calamities. He thinks that, no, I can't do this. It's not my cup of tea. Why this is happening to me every time? They always develop the negative thinking, which is a disaster in future. Just be hopeful for the future, children. Don't get depressed. Don't be in the depression. Okay. So self-motivation is important, and instill a self-confidence. Put on your blinkers again. Okay. So, and one more quote I will tell you, that is, an optimist sees roses and a pessimist sees opposite of roses, thorns. Okay. So this was the example of an optimist again. Okay. So children, let us have a quick review on whatever we have learned. We have learned about all the four kinds of the sentences. That is, assertive sentence is nothing but which makes a statement, and interrogative sentence is nothing but which asks questions. Then imperative sentences deals with which expresses the commands or request, and the last is the exclamatory sentence, which expresses the certain feelings of sorrow or surprise. Okay. So this was all about the kind of sentences, and we have also learned about the vocabulary. That is, an optimist is nothing but one who looks at the brighter side of the world, or a person who is hopeful about the future. Okay. Then you also have an home assignment, children, which you have to do at home. That is, write any 5 assertive and exclamatory sentences in your notebook. Read the newspaper and underline interrogative and imperative sentences. Damn easy, you can do it. I know my children are intelligent. They can do any task which I give. Isn't it, children? Don't let me down. Okay. Then the third is, I told you that I am going to give you the one more tongue twister. That is, practice the given tongue twister and improve your pronunciation. So what is the tongue twister I gave you? It is black belt, blue bag. Right. So teacher has to first say, right? First teacher has to practice it, then my students are going to practice at home. So let me say it for 5 times at least. Black belt, blue bag, 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 black belt, blue bag. Damn easy. You can do better than me. Yeah. Right. So practice this tongue twister also. So this was all about my session. I hope you all have understood the kinds of sentences, my vocabulary, and the home assignment, whichever you have to do at home without fail. Do it. Okay. And I would like to thank to Mr. R.S. Praveen Kumar sir for giving me this wonderful opportunity to present a class. Okay, children. Thank you very much.